Hello. Uh, Welcome. It is Friday, September 3rd. I normally don't stream on Fridays. I kind of figured, since I said I was going to do this yesterday, I may as well. And, yeah. Because of familial obligations, I'm not able to go super long, like normally sometimes I would. So, I guess instead of playing Stardew Valley or any other video game today, we're going to open some Magic the Gathering. Haven't done that in 2 months. Because, well, it was kind of around the start of last month that the expansion for Hearthstone happened, so we opened those packs. But then a lot of weird Blizzard stuff happened. So, haven't really been able to do much with that. In the meantime, however, I've definitely got a backlog of a few of these boxes, and I did just order 3 more for the next set. So I've got 3 of those coming. But what we've got right now, I'll shift over to webcam. Yeah, awesome. We've got Strixhaven set box. As you can see, it is still in the plastic wrap. I haven't opened it, clearly. And if it's been tampered with, we'll see together. But I got these boxes before the whole tampering with scandal or situation on Amazon. And also I ordered them from a trusted seller. So if they are tampered with, then there is a lot of problems. Because I have the boxes from when I got them. So today might not run as long as, normal streams. I'm going to try to do these 2 boxes. I haven't seen any of these cards aside from like random one-offs that people have. So this might be interesting. I don't know what's a valuable card in these sets. Oh, sorry. So the first one is Strixhaven, and the second one is the more recent set. Let's get that out of the way. The Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. You can see that both of these still have the Wizards of the Coast plastic wrap on it. And my hope is that we can get through both of these boxes without problems. And then probably be done by, I don't know, 3:34, somewhere around there. Because, like I said earlier, I've got situations that I have to take care of with my family. And, okay. I would like to say thank you for, coming in and stopping by at every time that I can, because frankly, there's a lot of other channels that are live right now that have a lot more people than me. But, I mean, I'm here, you're here, let's do this, right? And unfortunately, again, I don't have like an actual nice setup for this. It's literally just a webcam on a tripod. And what noises you get are the ones that I'm making. That did not work. That will probably still not... Yep, that did not work at all. That'll probably still pop out and be annoying. Alright. So. I'm going to turn the music up just a little bit. 18 is probably good, because I'm still a little loud. Yeah, alright, that's fine. And I do have, like, one of the price guide websites open just so I can be like, oh, that card costs more than $5, which is about my limit for putting it into a sleeve immediately. And by the look of it, there's only 19 cards from this whole set that cost more than $5. This is not a high value set by the look of it. Of course, this is also only the base cards from Strixhaven School of Mages, and I don't think this list includes any of the Mystical Archive cards. So, let's start right in, shall we? Okay. So we've got an Inkling Token. So nothing from the list yet. But that's fine. We're just starting. I guess they decided to do the art card forward instead of backwards. Primal Command. Oh, for the Mystical Archive. New art for Primal Command. Foil Island. Wait, hold on. What? Okay. Just so long as this is, like, correct. Okay. So like I said, I haven't seen any of these cards, so I have no idea what a lesson is. Create 2 1/1 black best summons. Create 2 1/1 black creature tokens with when it dies gain a life. All right, cool. Ogiar Battleseer, 3/4 for 5 with haste, and Scry 1. Not very good. Alright, Sudden Breakthrough, 2 mana instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 on first strike, and you make a treasure. If the treasure token was not added to that, this would be a deeply medium card. But because the treasure's there, it's not that bad. Elemental Masterpiece, 7 mana sorcery. Oh, that's terrible. Create 2 4/4s with... Oh, just create 2 4/4s. Or you can pay 2 and discard it to make a treasure token. I think they were trying to push a lot more into treasure these last couple of sets. Trying to make treasure an evergreen mechanic rather than, like, a one-off in Ixalan. Alright, 2 mana instant, exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. So it's like Pongify, but it exiles, and you can an artifact. Costs 1 more, and makes something that's a 1/1 bigger. Not bad. Okay, teach by example. When you cast your next instant or sorcery this turn, copy it. That's great. Like, they reprinted Fork, but it's only on your stuff. So it's a slightly worse... It's strictly worse Fork, but it's still pretty good. because it's 2 mana that can be either blue or red. We have our second creature of the pack. A 5 mana 3/4, just like the first one. Ardent Dust Speaker. Whenever it attacks, you put an instant or sorcery from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. If you do, exile the top 2 cards, and you can play those this turn. But you still have to spend mana to play them. Meh. Lorehold Excavation. 2 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, mill a card. If a land card was milled this way, gain 1 life. Otherwise, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. This is a terrible enchantment. Also, you can pay 5 and exile a creature from your graveyard to create a tapped 3/2 red and white spirit. This is a terrible card. Like, this is just bad. I don't want to see any of this deck. The rare is Rushed Rebirth. 2 mana, black and green, for an instant. Choose target creature. When that creature dies this turn, search your library for a creature card with less mana and put it onto the battlefield tapped. I mean, sure. You just do that in response to them killing your creature, so that's fine. It's a nice little rare. Our Mystical Archive card is D-Spark. Which, looks nice. Just 2 mana, exile a permanent with mana value 4 or greater. That's pretty good. And we have a foil Grinning Ignis, which I believe this is a reprint. Pay a red, return it to its owner's hand, add double colorless into red. Now, there is a way to abuse this horribly in Standard. Like, actually really bad. And I'm not sure if I should worry about that or not. I'm also going to pull up the Mystical Archive for 1 second. Mystical Archives. But Mystical Archives will not be sorted by price, just by name. So I can find it easily. Boom. D-Spark, 68 cents. I didn't think it was going to be that much. But it's nice to have. It's just cheap removal. Only 2 mana, and it gets rid of basically anything big that you need to get rid of. Alright, we have, like, not even a token. And we have an art card, which, what is it again? Bookworm. Seems a little out of focus. Alright, land is plains. I think each of these packs comes with a lesson, which is part of how it works. Come on. Come on. Sometimes it's hard getting this thing to focus in. Alright, Environmental Sciences. 2 mana lesson, no color. Search your library for a basic land, put it into your hand, gain 2 life. What? This is I mean, like, it's not rampant growth, first off, because that puts it onto the battlefield, tapped. But this puts it into your hand, and you gain 2 life. Most people can say that life gain isn't really a necessary thing in Magic, but sometimes it is. Also, that spell is colorless. So we have multiple colorless spells now. Dangle Trap, it's an instant. Either deal 5 damage to target creature with flying or destroy an artifact. I don't think there's a lot of... I mean, I haven't seen a lot of creatures with flying, so I don't know if it's really that imperative. Scurrid Colony, it's a squirrel. That helps. It's +2/+2 as long as you control 8 or more lands. So it can become a 2-mana 4/4 with reach. I don't think that'll see any play literally ever, except for very specific niche needing to have squirrel stacks. Hall Monitor, it's a 1/1 with haste. I mean, that's already okay. And 1 in red, target creature can't block. Okay, sure. Yeah. Oh, also, that was an uncommon. So I guess that was the first uncommon. Detention Vortex, a single white mana. For a single white mana, enchanted permanent cannot attack, block, or activate its abilities. But your opponent may pay 3 to destroy this, only as a sorcery. I'd still gladly run this. This is great. I like Detention Vortex. Ooh, a secret rendezvous. Come on. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards for 3 mana in white. We're gonna see this probably a lot in various commander decks. Or I would say that if it weren't for the fact that any of the commanders that came from this set, I believe, are all very artifact heavy and can do a lot of card draw anyway. 2 mana, Rip Apart, either 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or destroy target artifact or enchantment. As a sorcery, no thank you. Hey, a regular Grinning Agents. We saw that previously, so we don't need to look at it again. Vanishing Verts. 2 mana, exile target, monocolored permanent. Instant speed. Okay. I mean, I shouldn't have to look this up because this is not... Oh, it's a $2 card. Not bad. And then our Mystical Archive is Divine Gambit. Just double white, exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment, and opponent controls. Then they can put a permanent from their hand onto the battlefield. If it wasn't a sorcery, this would be a lot better. And then we have a foil Divine Gambit. Second verse, same as the first. I'll put all the Mystical Archive cards in the same stack, foils or not, unless, of course, they're worth something. That one is not worth something. All right, we have, what is this? What, Strictly Better Magic minigame? It's not, what's it? Token or a list card, so don't need that. And then the art is some sort of wind barrier. I kind of like it where it has the name, so you have to reveal the art. Selfless Glyph Weaver. But it's signed by the artist, so Johannes Voss. That's actually a name that means something, so I'll set that aside. Alright, then we have a swamp. Inkling Summoning, which is the lesson card for the pack. You just make a... Oh, come on. Make a 2/1 white and black Inkling, that token from the first pack. It has flying. 3 mana. Not a good cost. There are definitely better cards at the same cost that do better things. Alright, Enthusiastic Study. 3 mana instant. Target creature gets +3/+1 and trample because they have a huge book. And then you learn. You may reveal a lesson card from outside of the game and put it into your hand. That's why the lessons are happening. I've been wondering what they were, so I guess you could just like have any number of lesson cards in your sideboard or outside of the game, and when you play a learn card, you just put it into your hand. A lesson. Or you discard a card to draw a card. In case you're playing a format that doesn't use sideboard mechanics, like Commander. Twin Scroll Shaman is a 1/2 with double strike. It's really good with that Enthusiastic Study. Make your mark. Instant. Target creature gets +1/+0. And when it dies, you make a spirit. So you just play this on something that you know is going to trade well, and then you get another body. A 4/4 with Vigilance and Menace for 5 mana. Relic Sloth. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Again, there are worse cards. The fact that it's 2 colors and it's only a 4/4 is a little not good, but alright. Illustrious Historian. 2 mana, 2/1, pay 5, exile it from your graveyard so it has to die first, and then you make a red and white spirit. Something tells me this red and white spirit deck might be another thing that's not so good that they're trying to push everything into being. Alright, Reconstruct History, 4 mana sorcery, return up to 1 target artifact card. Enchantment, instant, sorcery, planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand, and then exile it. Sorry. I don't see the want for it. All I'm saying is Lorehold is probably like the least exciting of any of the stuff that I've seen so far, and we have a whole pack of it, and none of this is tickling my my thinking bone. Lorehold Apprentice, 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, which is the Mage Draft mechanic itself, until end of turn, spirit to control, gain, tap, deal 1 damage to each opponent. So that's why you need a whole bunch of spirits. But this doesn't stack. They would only gain the ability an additional time. So why have that on Magecraft? Oh, good. And we have the Lorehold command. 5 mana for an instant. Choose 2 because it's a command. Make a 3/2 red-white spirit. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and indestructible in haste. Not bad. Deals 3 damage to any target, and target player gains 3 life. And sacrifice a permanent, draw 2 cards. That is a terrible... Why is that ability red or white? That should not be on this card. Mystical Archive is Doomblade. I always like to see a good Doomblade. I have no complaints about this card at all. Foil is Lash of Malice, 1 mana, +2/-2. It's like Disfigure, but it could make something stronger too. I noticed that I haven't thought about checking any of the prices for these cards that we're going through, except for like the Mystical Archive ones. Oh, we have a test open. Rar. Because, frankly, I can see why there's not a lot of monetary value to be had from these boxes. We got some sort of, Gorgon, probably? Spectre of the Fens. That sounds like green-black. Easily could be a Gorgon still. Okay. Got a swamp. Our lesson is Necrotic Fumes. 3 mana for sorcery. And as an additional cost to cast, exile a creature you control to exile target creature or planeswalker. It's exile as opposed to destroy. So those are a little harder to get back. But for that cost and a creature, I'd still say no. Essence Infusion. Put 2 +1/+1 counters onto a creature. It gains lifelink till end of turn. 2 mana sorcery. Fine. It's fine. Star Pupil. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a 0/0, but when it dies, you can move all of its counters onto a creature you control. I mean, you go Star Pupil into Essence Infusion, you're swinging with a 3/3 with lifelink. That if it dies, you won't get anything because you spent all of your mana turns 1 and 2. But it looks like whatever the white-black house is, does a lot with +1/+1 counters. So 4 mana for Exhilarating Elocution. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, and then the other creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. Sure, yeah. 1 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And then you learn. So there was a card called, I think it was Feat of Resistance. It was 1 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and then it gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. And I'd much rather have that. Also, it was instant speed. Ah, yes, uncommons. Now that we're in the uncommons, we kind of get a different theme. So 5 mana, draw 4 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an instant or sorcery. Not the best. It's just not the best. 8 mana, Explosive Welcome, instant. Deals 5 damage to any target and 3 damage to any other target, and then you add 3 red mana to your mana pool. So it's 5 mana for 5 damage and 3 damage, because you get the 3 mana back. You have to have the 8 mana, but it's effectively only 5. Mentor's Guidance. When you cast a spell, copy it if you control a Planeswalker, Cleric, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, or Wizard. Oh, okay. Scry 1, draw 1 for 3 mana. But if you control any of these things, copy it. So it becomes scry 1, draw 1, scry 1, draw 1. And it'll trigger Magecraft. I mean, Demigod Titan. This is the first card that I've seen that makes me want to go and check to see if it's actually valuable. I know it's only a rare, but I want to see the AE. It is 43 cents. Guess not. Well, the reason I was thinking that, because it's 4 mana for an 11/10. Whenever it attacks or blocks, sacrifice a creature. So that could be real big. Then we have Duress. Just 1 mana, target opponent reveals a hand, choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, they discard. Foil is Owl and Shield Mage. 5 mana, 3/3 with flying. And Ward, pay 3 life. So Ward is a mechanic that got added in this set. Well, not really a mechanic that got added. It's a mechanic that was given a name. Because it used to be like Frost Titan would have, if your opponent casts a spell, whenever this becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter it unless the player pays the ward cost. In this case, being 3 life. Frost Titan was 2 mana. All right, we don't have a rules card this time, but we have something from the list, finally. We have that weird glyph mage again, this time not signed. And a forest to start. Reduce to memory. This is one of the only acceptable source or some lessons that I remember looking at previously. That this also has made it into a deck, because it's just like, hey, 3 mana, get rid of a thing. It can never come back in white. And we have Pop Quiz. 3 mana, draw a card. With Learn. Also, it's just causing so much trouble with my the camera. Wow. I don't know why it's doing that. Draw a card instant, by the way. Pigment Storm. 5 mana, deals 5 damage to target creature. With Trample. That's what this says. It says this spell has Trample. Excess damage is dealt to the creature's controller. This spell has Trample. Spectacle Mage. 3 mana, flying 2/2. Instants and sorceries you cast with that cost 5 or greater, cost 1 less. Yeah, I can get behind that. That also makes sense with the really expensive spells earlier. I'm trying to get this to work, and it's not working the best. All right, we have Quintorius, Field Historian. It's an elephant cleric as opposed to being labeled a Loxodon, which I believe is still just an elephant. It's a 2/4 for 5 mana, and spirits, not just spirit creatures, spirits you control get +1/+0. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, make a 3/2 red and white spirit creature. Sure, I guess. We've already... Hey, look, cards leaving your graveyard. We've seen this card before. We don't need to look at it again. And this is the one that makes all your spirits get tapped to deal 1 damage. All right. This is another one that I have to question because every time there's a Phoenix, it's usually okay. Oh, this is not one of those times. This is like a 12, 13 cent card. All right, Retriever Phoenix, 4 mana, 2/2 with flying and haste. Because it's a Phoenix, it has haste. Of course it does. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, learn. And as long as it's in your graveyard, if you would learn, you may instead return this to the battlefield. Sure? Yeah, alright, fine. Then we have the Augmenter... Oh, come on. The Augmenter Pugilist. It's a 3 mana 3/3 with trample. All right, cool. And as long as you control 8 or more lands, it gets +5/+5. So a 3 mana 8/8 with trample. Cannot complain there. But it has a flip side, and the other side of it is Echoing Equation. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn. Except those creatures aren't legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. As a sorcery, not bad. There's an instant that does it for everything, but you have to choose a non-legendary. So, yeah, fine. This is a fine card. Mystical Archive is Agonizing Remorse. 2 mana sorcery, target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land from it, exile it. Or a card, choose a non-land card from their hand or a card from their graveyard, then exile it, and you lose a life. When was that card first printed? I don't know. We have Expel, 3 mana instant, exile target tapped creature. In white. It's like Assassinate, but it just gets rid of it entirely. And it's not sorcery speed. Oh, this is the card from the list. Apparently, the list included cards from M21. Well, that's a lie, because this is one of the bonus cards that was printed with one of the Planeswalker decks, particularly the Liliana one. So zombies, it's a 3 mana, 2/3, with weird border, by the way, but zombies you control get +1/+0, and at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died, you may pay 2. If you do, make a zombie. Sure. The border made me think it was something else. Like, the border made me think it was from a different card game. And because I've seen some of the other border cards from those M21 Commander or Planeswalker decks, They were trying. They were trying. Token is an avatar. The 3/6, whenever this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. I wonder what makes this. Because that looks like a great card. It's not legendary. Alright, we have art that probably looks like this. I'd guess it's a bird of some kind or a counterspell. Torrent Sculptor. It's a bird of some kind. We have an island. Our lesson is a 5 mana, create a 4/4 elemental red and blue token. That's way too expensive. This is terrible. This is an awful lesson. 6 mana, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature, put X plus and plus counters on it, where X is the number of lands you control. Presumably you're going to have a lot of lands. I think that might be what the green-blue deck was trying to do. Just get a bunch of lands out to have land matters creatures. 4 mana, draw 2 cards. You may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. So instead of being 2 mana, draw 1 card, you can put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. A card that was banned while it was still in standard. They tacked 2 more mana onto it and made it draw 2 cards instead of draw 1 card. And that made it basically unplayable. Because there's so much other stuff you can do at 4 mana in green and blue. Alright. Vortex Runner. 3 mana, 2/3. As long as you control 8 or more lands, +1/+0, and can't be blocked. So yeah, it looks like lands matters, and blue-green is definitely a thing. Hey, we finally get a land that's not a basic land. Comes into play tapped, enters tapped. When it comes into play, sacrifice it unless you pay 1. It's, oh god, what is it? Like, it's several different lands, but now we have a new name for it. That's how it works. This is fine, I guess. Three mana Field Trip. Search a library for a basic forest card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And then you learn. No. No. No, this card is not going to see any play on... I don't think this will see even play in Commander. We're back to Explosive Welcome again. So, 8 mana. We've seen that one. Mentor's Guidance. If you have a Druid or a whole bunch of other things, we've seen this one. Vine Glimmer Snarl. As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or island. If you do, it comes... Oh, sorry. If you don't, it comes into play tapped. Didn't they have this cycle before? I'll have to check. I'm also going to set that there for right now. Mystic Archive, we have Memory Lapse. Instant, counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, put it on top of its owner's library instead of in its own... Instead of into that player's graveyard. I liked Memory Lapse. It was a nice little counter spell. Because it's just like, it slowed it down. It's great for when people are, bank up their mana and then cast a giant spell and you can be like, nah, just try that again next turn when you don't have 70 extra mana in your mana pool. Alright, then we have 6 mana, Rise of Extus. Exile target creature, and then exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery from a graveyard. Sorcery. No! This is so weak of a card. Like, really bad. That is super low power level. Alright, so find Glimmer Snarl. If I have to guess, that land is not too bad, but yeah, it's $1, but it gets better if it's extended or foil. Which, I mean, yeah. No real actual complaints there. Let's just... because I haven't been checking the Mystical Archive cards. Mostly because I haven't seen anything that was terribly important to check there. But all that said, these aren't. I can see why one of my friends said, "Hey, don't open this set. You're not going to get any value from it." Because clearly we're not getting any value from this set. And the only thing going for me is the fact that I haven't opened any of this. Okay, cool. I think we've seen the art for this card. So this was Make Your Mark. Yeah, I think we saw that one. Now we have a mountain. Another colorless lesson. 5 mana sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller draws a card. At 5 mana? I mean, realistically, you can drop it to lower if you have that bird that makes things... yeah, this bird guy right here that makes things cheaper. But still, they also draw a card. Waterfall Aerialist, a 4-mana 3/1 with flying and ward 2. So counter the target spell if it... sorry. Counter spell or ability if it targets this unless the controller pays 2. Prismari Pledge Mage. It's a 2-mana 3/3 with Defender that can attack as though it doesn't have Defender if you cast or copy an instant or sorcery. Sure. Yeah. Prismari Campus. Taps for red or blue, but you can pay 4 and tap to scry 1. It's like all of the guild gates, but better. Campus Guide, 2-mana 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, search for a basic land, reveal it, and put it on top of your library. I'd much rather go into my hand. But if you need the lands, then that's how you do it. Decisive Denial, 2 mana. Choose one, target creature you control fights a creature you don't control, or counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 3. Instant speed fight is generally pretty good. So, yeah, Decisive Denial, good card. Solve the equation. 3 mana sorcery. Search for an instant or sorcery. Sure. We have to think about like power level and power creep and cards that have been just so broken and then not so broken anymore. 3 mana, just search for an instant or sorcery. Why not? Cody! Vociferous Codex. It's a 3-mana 1/4 artifact creature construct. It's a book. The book is angry at you because you can't cast permanent spells. This qualifies as a 5-color identity commander for some reason, mostly the fact that you add 1 of each color to your mana pool when you activate its ability. And then when you cast the next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery with a lesser mana value, and you can cast that card without paying its mana cost. That's not super good, but again, people have made use of it. Frozen Grip. Instant, split second, destroy target artifact or enchantment when you absolutely have to get rid of someone's sensei's divining top. Foil Dark Ritual. I like that. This one's on me because like I mean, regular Dark Ritual's $2. It's not foil etched, I think. Because I don't know what the difference between etching and non-etching is. You know what? Foil is listed as 6, so we have our first card to go into a sleeve. Feels good that it's actually a Dark Ritual, too. We have another one of these rule cards, I think. Booster Sleuth. Minigame cards. I don't think... Yeah, that's a terrible little minigame. And then we have presumably some sort of Mother of Runes, but let's see what it actually is called. Jadzi, Oracle of the Arcavios. So, presumably one of the heads of a school, a house. Because that's the story of Strixhaven, because it is the set is Strixhaven School of Mages. The plane is Strixhaven, which is apparently just its own separate world that is an entire school for mages of different colors of magic. Despite the fact that we've had so many other times that story has happened, and Strixhaven has never shown up, even in any kind of flavor text. The lesson is elemental summoning. We've already seen this. Just make a 4/4 for 5 mana. Alright. Springmane Servant. It's a 3 mana 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, gain 2 life. Sure. Presumably this will be a green-black pack then. Yep. Kinda knew that. Leech Fanatic. It's a 2 mana 2/2 that has lifelink during your turn. There's no downside. It just doesn't have lifelink during your opponent's turn. Blood Researcher. 3 mana 2/2 with Menace, and whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Sure. Yeah. If you gain life a lot, which we're seeing a lot of life gain from this pack. Spectre of the Fens. Oh, it was a Spectre, not a Gorgon. All right. My bad. 4 mana, 2/3 with flying, but pay 6. Target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. When it comes down to the point in time where you're going to start using that last ability, you're just not going to attack with it. Moldering Crop. Karok, sorry. It's a zombie croc. 4 mana, 3/3, trample lifelink. Super good. Like, the only thing is, if instead of trample it was death touch, then this would be, everything would be playable. Everything would try to run it. Alright, and then we have the Professor of Zoomancy, another 4 mana, 4/3. And when it enters the battlefield, creates a 1/1 black-green pest. With when it dies, gain a life. Alright, Explosive Iteration. 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 in your hand, 1 in the bottom, and exile the 3rd. You may play the exiled card this turn. Neat. Rare is Draconic Intervention. As a 4 mana and exile an instant or sorcery. This deals X damage to each non-dragon. X is the exiled card's mana value. If a creature would die this way, exile it. Sorry. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. And then you exile this so you can't do it multiple times. Yeah, okay, fine. Natural Order is next. It is the first mythic that we've seen. So this might be a thing. Although granted, it also might not, because it's not foil or etched or anything. Alright, I was wrong. It is absolutely a thing. We're going to talk about it first. So, sorcery has additional cost. Sacrifice a green creature. 4 mana. Search your library for a green creature and put it onto the battlefield. So, that card is $14. Roughly. Remember, of course, that all value of cards is strictly what people place on them and not actually what they're really worth. So, I can hope to see $14 for that. I might get more, I might get less, who knows? I might never use it. Who knows? And the foil for the pack is Quandrix Cultivator. It's a 3/4 Turtle Druid. Good. Solid subtypes. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic forest or island and put it onto the battlefield. For 4 mana. This is way better than the one that just searches it and puts it into your hand. Because you also get a 3/4 body. And it doesn't go into play tapped. This is a good card. I'd like to see more of this card. Oh, we finally got that 3/2 red spirit token. We saw this art. This was the art for Memory Lapse. Yep, Memory Lapse. Foil planes. And the lesson is, of course, it's colorless, so that's a good sign. Now, is that an instant or a sorcery? Is it going to actually pick up the fact that... Okay, it's a sorcery. Introduction to Prophecy, 3 mana, scry 2, draw a card. Sure. It's not bad. Then next we have 1 mana Excavated Wall. It's a 0/4 with Defender. A1, tap, mill a card. Put the top card of your library into your graveyard. There might have been a self-mill deck. Tome Shredder, it's a wolf. 3 mana, haste 2/2. Exile an instant or sorcery from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Tome Shredder. And Thrilling Discovery, 2 mana sorcery, gain 2 life, and then you may discard 2 cards, and if you do, draw 3 cards. That's not... Okay, so apparently, Lorehold, which is the red-white school, tried to do too many things. They're trying to be, Expel, instant, exile target creature, tapped creature. We saw this. It looks like, yeah, the red-white is trying to do cards in graveyards and +1/+1, no, not +1/+1 counters, spirits. So whenever one or more cards leaves your graveyard, scry 1. You have cards leaving graveyards making spirits. You have spirits doing things. There's too much interconnectivity for what it's trying to do. You have to have 7 cards to be able to do something that 2 cards could have done. All right, Return Past Caller. 6 mana for a 4/2 with flying. That's way too expensive. When it enters the battlefield, return target spirit, instant, or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. That's still too expensive for what it does. All right, first actual mythic of the box. Let me switch over to actual things. It is Tanzir Quandrix, which is presumably the name of the blue-green school, as it is a blue-green elder dragon. And hey, Tanzir is $2. That's not a lot, but it is another elder for me building your Respect the Elders, my Respect Your Elders deck. So, 4/4 flying trample. When it enters the battlefield, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. I thought black and white was +1/+1 counters. Whenever this attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to this creature's base power and toughness until end of turn. Sure. I mean, it's not great, but it's good for other things, just not this set. Then we have Avilda, Dean of Perfection. 3 mana 2/2 with a wall of text. All right. Tap, you may exile an instant or sorcery card from your hand and put 3 hone counters on it. It gains at the beginning of your upkeep. If this card is exiled, remove a hone counter. And when the last one is removed, you may cast it. It costs 4 less to cast. So it's like suspending a card, but you still have to pay mana to cast it. On the other side, we have Nasari, Dean of Expression, which, by God, this is more text. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may cast spells and spend mana as over mana of any color. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. That's way better. Our Mystical Archive is Infuriate. Single red mana, target creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. Because apparently reprinting Brute Strength was just not in the cards. Brute Strength, of course, being a plane-shifted version of Giant Road. Single red mana, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. And we have a foil Tome Shredder. I'm not gonna lie, it's really annoying that I've only seen one card from the list. Like, we've got another token, so it's clearly not gonna be another list card. Although this is a very thick pack. Wait, we saw this. Isn't this Dark Ritual? No, it's Sign in Blood. Close. Alright, we have Plains. Necrotic Fumes, we've seen that one before. Waterfall Aerialist, we've seen that one before. It has warding too. Prismari Pledge Mage, the guy with Defender that gets up and starts attacking when he casts a spell. We've seen all of these cards previously. Campus Guide. Every single one of these. Returned Past Caller, we saw this one too. Alright, this is the first one that we haven't seen previously. Professor in Symbiology. When it enters the battlefield, learn. It's a 2 mana 2/1. And I'm glad that they could find a professor that will actually make somebody learn instantly. Clever Lumimancer. You cast an or copy an instant spell, it gets +2/+2. It's an 0/1 otherwise. Alright, and then we have Dream Strix, a 3 mana, 3/2 bird with flying. It's an illusion, so when it comes to target of a spell, sacrifice it. But not an ability, just a spell. And then when it dies, you learn. I don't know if you've kind of gathered from how I'm saying it. I don't think learning is a great mechanic. Alright, and then we have Negate. Just negate. Counter target non-creature spell. Sure. Foil Double Major. 2 mana instant. Target. Copy target creature spell you control, except it isn't legendary if the spell is legendary. What? Well, if it weren't for the fact that this was foil, I would have an immediate home for this card. But because it's foil, okay, so it in itself is like $2, which, again, if I could get that not foil, I know exactly where I would put it. But Because it's foil, I'm not too keen on it. Alright, we have another list card. Hopefully. Unless Wizards of the Coast decided to be like, let's put those tokens that have the Magic the Gathering backs on them into packs as well, because people like those, right? The art is for Leonin Lightscribe, which got little happy cat there. Mountain is the land, and apparently we're starting with a rare lesson. Confront the past. X and black, choose one. Either return target planeswalker with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, or drain twice X loyalty from an opponent's planeswalker. I mean, it's whatever. Spined Karok. It's a crocodile. It's a 3-mana 2/4. No ability. I wouldn't run this in the vanilla deck that I built. Cram Session. 2 mana, gain 4 life. Learn. Witherbloom Campus. It's the green-black land that has pay 4, tap, scry 1. I like these lands. That's the most I can say about them. Witherbloom Pledge Mage. 5 mana for Magecraft whenever you copy an instant or sorcery, gain a life. It's also a 5/5. So it won't be dying easily. Essence Infusion, put 2+++ counters on a thing, which we saw in the black-white deck. But since it's black, it can be in the black-green deck. Sure, why not? Maelstrom Muse. 4 mana, flying, 2/4. When it attacks, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less, or X's Maelstrom Muse's power, as this ability resolves. So, by itself, the next instant or sorcery costs 2 less. If you have something on it that makes it stronger, that's good. If you have something on that makes it weaker, less good. And then we have Snow Day. 6 mana instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. They don't untap during the controller's next untap step. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. For 6 mana? No thank you. I'd rather just play the 2 separate cards that have that effect. Dramatic Finale. 4 mana for an enchantment. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1. Sure, that's already a great start. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control dies, create a 2/1 white and black Inkling with flying, but only triggers once each turn. So close. So close to being good. So close. Mystical Archive is Weather the Storm. 2 mana, instant, gain 3 life with Storm. This card was created to stop ad nauseum. No, not ad nauseum. The card that says your opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. With Storm. I should be able to remember what that card's name is. Because it wasn't ad nauseum. Ad nauseum was usually used to look for that card. Oh well. It's not terribly important. This card is not worth much. At all. Because it's like, again, strictly printed. And it's called Weather the Storm. Yep, 40 cents. Not great. But, oh well. Then we have Zephyr Boots. Equipped creature has flying, 1 mana, 2 to equip, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. Meh. And our list card is Spined Thopter. It's a Thopter. It also has spines on it. 2 and a Phyrexian mana, which can either be paid with a blue or 2 life, for a 2/1 with flying. Alright, give me 1 second, because I've been here for... been talking for just over an hour, and frankly, I'm a bit thirsty. It feels so good. Okay. I think that was it for the first row. So I'll put these commons away. Well, commons and uncommons. Frankly. Honestly, it's everything but the rares. So, basic lands go away too. Oh, and we have another mini game. Let's see what this one's called. It is Winchester Draft. Not really a mini game, but still a way that you can draft with only 2 people. That one's actually a valid thing to have. Ah, some sort of large dragon. Presumably the green-black one named Witherbloom? Belladross Witherbloom. Yep, it's the Witherbloom dragon. Alright, and we have a plains, so we start that land pile back up. Fractal summoning. Create a 0/0 blue-green fractal summon with X +1/+1 counters on it. Sure. Yeah, fine. What? You just keep unfocusing. But yeah, this is an okay lesson. Stonerise Spirit. Come on. All right. Are you gonna stay focused on the card? Thank you. 2 mana for a Spirit Bird. Pay 4 and exile a card from your graveyard. Target creature gets flying. That is way too much to exile a card from your graveyard to give flying. Also, it's a 1/2. But it's a spirit, so it's probably part of that Lorehold deck that cares about spirits. Pillar Drop Warden, it's a spirit dwarf. 4 mana with reach. It's a 1/5 and tap and pay 2, sacrifice this. Return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. But only as a sorcery. Not good. Pilgrim of the Ages. It's a 3 mana spirit. It's a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, search for a basic plains and put it into your hand. That's great. That's super good. like as a common, and then you can pay 6 to return it from your graveyard to your hand. That's a bit expensive, but I mean, sure. Why not? Yeah. Fuming Effigy, 4 mana, it's 4/3. Whenever one or more cards leaves your graveyard, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. It's like they're trying really hard to do these things, and it's just not feeling correct. Also, I have no idea what the Professor of Symbiology, it's probably green-white, but the learn mechanic, I don't know. Could be green-blue. Clever Lumimancer, we've seen it. Ifrit Flame Painter. It's a 4 mana 1/4 with double strike, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you may cast instant or sorcery from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. We also have Blex the Vexing Pest. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders you control get +1/+1, and when it dies, you gain 4 life. Okay, let me check. Called Blex. Blex the Vexing Pest. $1.50. Still not bad. There's also a backside, which is search for Blex. 4 mana, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put any number of them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. You lose 3 life for each card put into your hand this way. Sure. I also like that you've got these 3 that are looking for Blex, who's right on the other side of that tree. Thrill of Possibility. 2 mana instant, discard a card, draw 2 cards. The instant version of Tormenting Voice. It's fine. Pillar Drop Rescuer. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, if only it had been play. 4 mana, 2/2 flying. Just put it into play, man. But then it wouldn't be a common. It'd be too powerful. Hey, the first treasure token. I haven't seen these at all yet, so sure. But I mean, no list, so sure, right? All right, and then we've got an art card. It's some sort of owl man. Shodek, Dean of Radiance. Some sort of owl man. Island. Introduction to Annihilation. We've seen this one. Defend the Campus. 4 mana instant. Creatures control get +1/+1, or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. I mean, that last ability is fine for what it costs, but the first one, not so much. Mage Hunter's Onslaught. 4 mana, sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker. And whenever a creature blocks this turn, its controller loses 1 life. Wait, hold up. So this is just destroy target creature or planeswalker on a sorcery speed, which we've seen many times. With upside. Sure, yeah. There's better cards. but I'll take that. Rise of Extus. We've seen this. Exile creature, exile instant or sorcery, and then you learn. It's not good. Lash of Malice. We've seen this too. This one's fine. Crushing Disappointment. 4 mana instant. Each player loses 2 life, but you draw 2 cards. Okay. Yeah. I'm actually okay with that. Fracture. 2 mana. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. What? As white and black? Yes. At 100%. Yes, please. More like this. There is no downside. You don't have to pay 5 life, or discard a card, or sacrifice an enchantment, or a creature. I mean, you don't get to destroy a creature, but oh no. Why are things going wrong? Because it doesn't help that I see that I'm dropping frames, and the secondary that I was using to keep track of how the video's going, you know, making sure to see that things are correctly in frame and not lagging out, it just crashed. So, I mean, if this part isn't on the Twitch VOD, at least it's going to be on the YouTube VOD, right? Me complaining about technology. But this card, Fracture, 100% great. Use this as much as you can, anytime you can. Alright. I don't know why this is having such problems. But, oh well. I mean, I literally don't actually know why, because really annoying. Alright, Silverquill Apprentice. Magecraft, whenever you cast an instant sorcery, target creature gets +1/+0. 2 mana, 2/2. Okay. Shine Shadow Snarl. It's the white-black reveal of Plains or Swamp, otherwise it comes into play tap land. Really, I could swear they did that mechanic. Was it the opposing colors? No, it was the friendly colors. These are the opposing colors. Because Shadows over Innistrad had the friendly colors. Friendly colors being the ones next to each other on the color wheel. You know, green, white, green, red. Previously, we saw green, blue in the lands, and this one's white, black. So yeah, they're completing a cycle with this. That's great. You love to see it. All right, we have Tezeretz Gambit. Draw 2 cards, then proliferate. 3 and a Phyrexian blue. Because you have to have this down here, because you can't see it up there. And what's the last card? A foil excavated wall. Sure. And we'll get another treasure token. Back-to-back treasure tokens. And the art is, what's his face? The Slurm monster. Blex. That's right. It's Slurms Mackenzie. Got a foil swamp, so I gotta put that in the foil pile. Our lesson is pest summoning, because you definitely do that during class. Well, what did you learn today in school, little Billy? Here, let me show you. Why is our house full of rats? So we've seen Pest Summoning. Promising Dusk Mage, 3 mana. When it dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, draw a card. Okay. Professor's Warning, single black. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, or a creature gains indestructible. I remember that being 2 mana. Letter of Acceptance, 3 mana. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Pay 2 and tap, sacrifice it to 2, draw a card. I like seeing the better Manoliths, because Manolith was a very medium card. Like, you had to run it because it's what was available on add any man of any color. This just seems too expensive for the draw card motion. First Day of Class. 2 mana instant. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it gains haste. This turn, right. It's an instant, not an enchantment. Oh, man. I was almost like, what are you doing? But, yes, that's fine. Eager First Year, 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you cast Magecraft, +1/+0. Sure. It's a 2 mana 2/2. You'll see them a lot. Test of Talents, 2 mana instant, counter target, instant or sorcery. And then remove exile all copies from its owner's graveyard and hand. And library. But then they draw a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. But if I remember correctly, there exists a card from this set that you can have any number of that's an instant or sorcery. I wonder if we're going to see that. 2 mana instant Flunk. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is 7 minus the number of cards in that creature's controller's hand. So, the less full their hand is, the more dead the creature is. Alright. The rare is a Callous Blood Mage. 3 mana for a Vampire Warlock. That's a 2/1. Not a great start, but when it enters the battlefield, you choose one. Either make a pest, draw a card and lose a life, or exile target player's graveyard. If this had flash, maybe I'd be okay with this. Otherwise, it is not good, even for a rare. Alright, Adventurous Impulse is the Mystic Archive. Look at the top 3 cards, reveal a creature or land, and then put the rest on the bottom. Oh, sorry, and put it into your hand, sorry. Then put the rest on the bottom. It's fine. This got initially printed not too long ago, so why it's part of the Mystical Archive is beyond me. Then we have a Foil Lesson. Start from scratch. 3 mana sorcery, 1 damage to any target, or destroy target artifact. Three mana? At uncommon? No! That is way too expensive. Let me take another drink of my drink real fast. Like, in the past, there was an instant that was 2 mana, deal 3 damage to target creature, I believe it was only creature, or destroy target artifact. At instant speed. 2 mana. So 3 mana for a sorcery that does 1 damage or destroys an artifact. And you only choose one. You don't get both. That is a garbage lesson. We have a card from the list, so that's a good sign. This is some fun art. I don't know what it is. Agonizing Remorse. I think we had that one. And we've got Plains to start. Intro to Prophecy. We've seen this one. Soothsayer Adept. 2 mana, 1/3 with pay 2, tap, draw a card, discard a card. I remember when that was just tap, draw a card, discard a card. On a 2 mana Merfolk. Quandrix Pledge Mage. These Pledge Mages are kind of good sometimes. So 3 mana for 2/2. Whenever you cast or copy, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Sure, yeah. I can see why Quandrix does the whole double +1/+1 counters thing then. Quandrix Campus. It's the blue-green land. Test of Talents. I remember what this card effect was called. It's Lobotomize. So you would just counter a thing and then remove all copies of that thing from the deck. It's good. And then we have another Flunk, which is fine. And 3 mana sorcery called Go Blank. Target player discards 2 cards. It's like Mind Rot, except then exile all cards from that player's graveyard. Yeah. I'd gladly play this over Mind Rot now. Ah, I see our rare is Professor Onyx. First off, it's a Liliana Planeswalker, so I have to check either way. Professor Onyx, $11. People like Planeswalkers for some reason. I've never understood why. So, alright. Professor Onyx. 6 mana, Planeswalker, starts with 5 loyalty. With Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. For +1 is you lose a life, and then you look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 in your hand, the rest on your graveyard. -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature amongst with the greatest power amongst creatures they control. -8, which is after, 4 turns. Each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, lose 3 life. Do this 7 times. I mean, it's like the spell that came out in Amonkhet where you just paid X and then either discard a card or lose 3 life X times. I believe that also included sacrifice permanent. So, alright, Flame Scroll Celebrant. Whenever an opponent activates an ability that isn't a mana ability, this deals 1 damage to that player. Sure. Yeah. And what is it on this side? Your opponents can't cast spells or activate Planeswalker abilities this turn. Still not bad. I like the... This is the card I was talking about. Tendrils of Agony. Target player loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. So that Weather the Storm was made to counter, effectively, Tendrils of Agony. Because it was 2 life, I lose 2 life, you gain 2 life. So I'll gain 3 life for each 2 life that I'm going to be losing. I'll have to actually check the price of Tendrils of Agony. Because that's one of the cards that people actually play. Tendrils of Agony. 45 cents. Neat. Alright. Mage Duel. 3 mana sorcery. Costs 2 less if you cast another instant or sorcery this turn. Sure. Oh, hey, Hina. Yeah, I decided to open a couple... honestly, a couple of boxes. Because... you know, I haven't done that in about a month. And frankly, I haven't opened anything of these 2 packs or sets. So why not? Also, this is my webcam setup. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. Probably. But yeah, this sorcery is okay. It's just a fight card that can cost cheaper. And our list card is Groundbreaker. 3 mana 6/1 with trample and haste. At the end of turn, sacrifice it. It's like Ball Lightning, but green. That's what it is. It's Ball Lightning, but green. Planar Chaos was a weird time. All right, we've got a token, so no list card this go around. And the art. That looks amazing, and I really hope that's like a really cool card. I want this art to be something great. Don't be something like Ponder. Strategic Planning. Oh god, that's an awful card. But this is such good art. Oh well. Alright, we've got an island. The lesson is Containment Breach. So for everybody doing SCP stuff, they've got their eye on you. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. If it costs 2 or less, create a pest. Sure. It's already just destroy target artifact or enchantment, period. But if it costs 2 or less, you're casting a 3-mana spell at it. You make a pest. Alright, it's fine. It's not great. Defend the Campus. We've seen this card previously. Still, the bottom ability is a little expensive for what it is. The top one, absolutely no. Mage Hunter's Onslaught. This is fine. Destroy target or creature or planeswalker for 4 mana. Rise of Extus. This is a terrible card. I don't know why they tried to make white-black as expensive to cast as possible when there's nothing in it that makes things cheap. Flash of Malice is good. Crushing Disappointment. It's fine. The fact that it's instant is actually better than if it was a sorcery. Which can be said about a lot of things that are instants rather than sorceries. Beaming Defiance. 2 mana instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2. and hexproof until end of turn. Sure. Yeah, fine. That's fine. As a common, as a combat trick, why not? Plumb the Forbidden. 2 mana instant. As an additional cost, you may sacrifice 1 or more creatures. When you do, copy this for each creature sacrificed this way. Draw a card, lose a life. Man, it was almost really good, and then it was like, oh, I'm just drawing cards. So close. So close to being... I mean, it is copied, so any of that Magecraft shenanigans is good, but... Alright. Multiple choice. X and 1. Sorcery is X is 1, scry 1. If X is 2, you may choose a player, then they return a creature they control to their hand. If X is 3, make a 4/4. If X is 4 or more, do all of the above. Why would it be more than 4? Like, at this point, why would you have X be 5 or 6? Doesn't do anything. But I guess they have to put or more in case someone just decides to be like, I paid 7 mana into this X spell, and if now it doesn't do anything. And in the grand fashion of anything that says do 1 or more, or in this case, all of the above, it is top down every time. You cannot choose the order in which they happen. That's actually a rare. Alright, Mystical Archive is Opt. Scry 1, draw 1. Instant speed. No complaints. And foil is Archway Commons. Rupture Spire is the card I was thinking of earlier. This is a Rupture Spire, but thematically. We got a 4/4 Elemental token. Let's see. What is this art? I want to believe it's something like Disenchant, but it's probably not. Revitalize. Well, that's like, I think, gain 3 life, draw a card. So sure, yeah. That's fine. That's okay enough art for that card. Oh, come on. Really? I am having multiple issues trying to see the stream on Twitch to see if things are going correctly. I don't know why, but oh well. Alright, we've got a swamp. I'll pay attention to that thing when it loads again. The lesson is Expanded Anatomy. 3 mana, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature. It gains vigilance. This is great. Absolutely 100%. This is a good lesson. It's colorless, so anybody can run it. Everybody that needs to care about +1/+1 counters. This is a great lesson. Spiteful Squad. Also, I notice certain important things, like I can't see I myself cannot see in the shadow of this card, but you can on the screen. This is a very dark arted card. I think I'm seeing that for a lot of these packs. But all right, so Spiteful Squad, 4 mana, 0/0 with Death Touch. Comes into play with 2+++ and counters on it. And when it dies, you move those counters to something else. Sure. 4 mana, 2/2 with Death Touch is reasonable. And the fact that you can move the counters makes it okay. Arrogant Poet, 2 mana, 2/1. When it attacks, it can pay 2 life. If you do, it gains flying. How is that a poet? Like, that. I can understand how that would make him arrogant, but how does paying 2 life, giving it flying, make him a poet? Also meh. Silver Quill Campus, which is, I guess, the name of the black-white house. It's a campus. It taps for black or white, and you can pay for and scry one. Silver Quill Pledge Mage. It has Magecraft. Either gains flying or lifelink. As a vampire cleric, sure. Flying or lifelink, absolutely. Go Blank is Mind Rot plus just remove everything from their graveyard. Come on, why are you having so much trouble playing this video? Stonebinder's Familiar. It's a 1 mana 1/1 Spirit Dog. And whenever your cards are put into exile during your turn, put a +++ and count. Oh, wait, sorry. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile this turn, during your turn, put a +++ counter on this card. This ability only triggers once each turn. And it'll only trigger during your turn. You were almost good. You were almost a good dog. Almost. It's a shame, really. Ardent Dust Speaker, when it attacks, you can copy and it's put an instant or sorcery from your graveyard on the bottom of your library, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You can play those instead. But you still have to pay for them. Okay, we have Galazeth Prismari. Let me double check this one, because again, it's one of the weird, like, named cards. So G comes after F. Galazeth Prismari, borderless, and it falls within what I need to sleep for. So 4 mana, 3/4 flying. When it enters the battlefield, make a treasure. Artifacts you control have tap to add mana of any color. Use it only to cast an instant or sorcery. Alright. Alright, and the Mystic Archive is Counterspell. It's just Counterspell. That's all it is. 2 mana, counter target spell. Oh my god, really? This is $4? You know what? That's fine. That's within realm of possibility. I'll put that in the sleeve too. Elemental Masterpiece is the last foil. It's sorcery. Create 2 4/4s, or discard it to make a treasure. At 7 mana, still no, not real strong on that one. Ooh, another card from the list. art is... I mean, it's art. I was going to say art is subjective, but... Introduction to Prophecy. Yeah, I was going to say we've seen that one. Oh, we have a forest. It's just a land. Spirit summoning. You make a spirit. So there's Spirit, Elemental, Pest, Fracture. What's the other one? I don't know what the white-black school summons. But you make a token. That's it. Big play, target creature gets +2/+2 and gains reach, and put a +1/+1 counter on it. So in effect, it gets +3/+3, but one of which stays. Frost Trickster, 3 mana, 2/2 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, it ice breaths a creature. You tap it down, and it doesn't untap during the next untap step. Charge through, 1 mana, instant speed, target creature gets trample, draw a card. Great. This is great. This is 100% good. There is no problems with this card at all whatsoever. Mage Duel, costs 2 less, target creature gets +1/+2, and fights a creature you don't know. We talked about this one earlier. It's not bad. Dragon's Approach. Alright, this is the card that I was talking about earlier. So, 3 mana sorcery, Dragon's Approach deals 3 damage to each opponent, then you may exile Dragon's Approach, and 4 cards named Dragon's Approach from your graveyard, and if you do, search for a dragon, put it onto the battlefield. A deck can have any number of cards named Dragon's Approach. So if this gets countered by that spell that says, remove all copies from your opponent's hand, deck, and graveyard, this could wipe out their deck. Then we have Heated Debate, 3 mana instant, can't be countered, and 4 damage to target creature or player. No. I'd rather just deal 4 damage with 2 mana and remove the whole can't be countered thing. Zonebinder's Familiar. We talked about this not good dog before. I know everybody says all dogs are good dogs. That's not a good dog. Dragon's Guard Elite. Refocus here. Magecraft. When you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a 2 mana 2/2, so that's already good. Then pay 6, double the number of counters on this creature. Sorry, of specifically +1/+1 counters. That's fine, yeah. Mystical Archive is Cultivate. Search your library for up to 2 basic lands. Put 1 on the battlefield tapped and the other in your hand. Then shuffle. It's Cultivate. Cultivate is... It's a well-known card for to a lot of people because it's one of the best of what it does. Our foil is Tend the Pest, 2 mana instant. Additional cost, sacrifice a creature. Make X black and green pest tokens, where X is that creature's power. Yeah, okay. I can get behind that. And our list card was Vanguard of Grimax. From... Oh god, that one's like the 3rd? Is this Journey to Nyx? No, it's not Journey to Nyx. Journey to Nyx had a different watermark or symbol. This is the second set of Theros. Born of the Gods? I think it was Born of the Gods. So it still had Heroic. It's a 2-mana 2/2 with Vigilance. And whenever you cast a spell that targets this, make a 1/1 white cat soldier creature token with Vigilance. It is, like, of the cards that have Brimaz in the name, it's the worst. Because I believe there's only 2 cards that have Brimaz in the name. And the other one's Brimaz, who I believe when he attacks just makes 2 1/1 white cat soldier tokens tapped and attacking that also have Vigilance. So next turn they don't have to tap to attack. We have a Fractal token. Fractal. And our art is probably something Fractal related. Emergent Sequence. I think that makes a Fractal, so... Hello, Phil. Why did you make that noise? Also, why did the phone make that noise? It's on vibrate. How did my phone make a noise that I could hear? Maybe it didn't actually make a noise. Maybe I'm just hearing things. Alright, then we've got Plains as our land. Intro to Annihilation. Infuse with Vitality. Until end of turn, target creature gains Death Touch, and when it dies, return it to the battlefield tapped. Gain 2 life. Okay, yeah. Absolutely. Hunt for Specimens, 2 mana sorcery, make a pest and learn. The learn mechanic. Still so weird. Unwilling Ingredient. It's a 1 mana 1/1 frog with menace. It's a scary frog. Exile it from your graveyard to draw a card and lose a life after paying 3 mana. Sure, yeah. Again, this is fine. This is an okay card. We've seen a lot of +1/+1 counter stuff. So... Novice Dissector is one of those. 4 mana, pay 1, sack a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Sure, yeah. It can't sacrifice itself, but that's not the worst that could be. A Bayou Broth. 2 mana plant dog. It's a 5/4. The 2 mana 5/4 has an additional cost to cast. Sacrifice a creature or pay 3. Okay. That makes a little more sense. So it's actually a 5 mana 5/4, or you sacrifice a creature and it's a 2 mana 5. Good art, though. You can really tell that that is a plant and a dog. Mage Hunter, 4 mana horror, 3/4. Whenever an opponent casts or copies an instant or sorcery, they lose 1 life. We have a solution to the Magecraft deck. Except not really, because every time they do it, they gain life anyway. Access Tunnel. It's a land, taps for colorless. 3 and tap, target creature with power of 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. It's like Rogue's Passage, but worse. I have nothing else to say. That's pretty much how that goes. Rogue's Passage is a land that taps for colorless, and you can pay 4 and tap it, and target creature can't be blocked this turn. No restriction. Sparring Regiment. 3 mana enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, learn. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature, then untap it. It's like Vigilance. Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. Even if it didn't have the learn mechanic stapled onto the front part, I could still absolutely see this being a regular card at that cost. Oh, Shock. 1 mana instant, deal 2 damage to any target. It's Shock. The foil is Professor of Zoomancy. It makes a beast, or a pest token. It's a bear druid. But it's not the last bear druid. There is another. Wow, we've been doing this for 2 hours already? I might be going slow. It was... Whoop, token. It's a pest token. And art is that thing that says summon elementals, probably. Frostboil Snarl. Oh no, it's the art for the blue-red land, which we haven't gotten yet. I mean, maybe we'll get it this go around. Land is a forest. Ooh. All right, this is already looking good. The lesson of the pack is Academic Probation, a 2-mana sorcery. Either choose a non-land card name, and opponents can't cast spell with the chosen name until your next turn, or choose a non-land permanent, and that can't attack, block, or activate its abilities. Okay. I've seen worse. I don't know if I've seen better. That's actually pretty good. Alright, we have the Owlin Shield Mage. It's a bird warlock. 5 mana, 3/3 with flying. Ward, pay 3 life. Hootie's gonna come at you hard. Four mana Combat Professor. It's a bird cleric with 2/3 with flying, and at the beginning of combat, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance. It's like having vigilance, but actually vigilance. Lorehold Pride Mage. Nothing to do with the spirit. Not a thing to do with the spirit. This is why I think Lorehold had the worst kind of setup, because it's like, cool, we have all this spirit stuff that we can exile cards, and then this guy, which whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it's +1/+0, has first strike. That's it. Lorehold Campus, red and white campus. Lorehold Excavation. Beginning of end step, mill a card. If a land's put in the graveyard this way, gain a life. Otherwise, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So you have to fill up your graveyard to do stuff. And then you exile creatures from your graveyard to make spirits. And then your spirits do stuff. Like this guy. Spirits you control get +1/+0. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, make a spirit. So you get spirits. Huh. Fury Calm Snarl. It's the red-white one. So that's good. I mean, that's just good. Torrent Sculptor. Didn't we see the art for this guy? It must have been a different, like, kind of special art. All right, 4 mana, 2/2, 4 mana, 2/2, Merfolk Wizard with Ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, exile an instant or sorcery. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on this, equal to that card's mana value rounded up. So we've seen 8 mana instants. So, sorry, half that card's mana value. It would still get 4 +1/+1 counters. That's still not nothing. And the other side, we have Flamethrower Sonata, which is a sorcery. Discard a card, then draw a card. Whenever you discard an instant or sorcery this way, deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or opponent you don't control. Sorry, creature or planeswalker you don't control. Oh, okay. No, this is fine. This is an okay card too. And then, of course, yeah, it's fine. Because I know that I'm not even gonna question this, I just want to know what the value is. So it's Demonic Tutor. Well, fortunately, it is the cheapest of the Demonic Tutors that I could have gotten from these packs. If, of course, I decided to go with the Japanese-only language pack and get a Demonic Tutor, that would have been $131. This one's only $34. Demonic Tutor, of course, being a 2-mana sorcery. Search your library for a card and put that card into your hand. You do not have to reveal anything. It's just 2 mana. That's why it's so expensive. Foil is Intro to Prophecy. Scry 2, draw a card. It's fine. And that is it for column number 2. So far, I know it's like an outlier and all. Not doing too badly, monetarily speaking. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for this box. It couldn't have been more than $120, because, again, not a lot of value to be had in these boxes, apparently. Except for, of course, Demonic Tutor and Professor Onyx. This one's being a problem to open for some reason. There we go. All right. It's currently 1 o'clock. If I've planned out my day correctly, I should be good. Because, partly, I have to go downstairs and do laundry. Hello. Well, it's the bookworm again. Nice signature, though. Got a foil island. Inkling summoning. That's what it is. It was ink. They summon ink. So 2/1 black and white flying Inkling creature. That's what they made. So it's red, white spirits, blue, green fractals, blue, red elementals, black, white summons, green, black pests. Soothsayer Adepts. Got this Murloc boy again. 2 mana 1/3. Just Pay 2, draw a card, discard a card. Quandrick's Pledge Mage. Put +1/+1 counters on it. It just gets bigger. That's great. Quandrick's Campus. Blue green land. Big play. They gain reach. We've seen this card. Cross Tricker. And Ice Breath's a guy. We've seen this card. Wormhole Serpent. We have not seen this card yet. 5 mana, 3/5. Pay 4. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Sure. Okay. That's fine. Symmetry Mage. 1 mana, 0/2. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, target creature you control with power of 2 or... Wait. Target creature you control has base power 2 until end of turn. Oh, but it's only things you control. Ah, so close. But you can make it have itself power 2. It is a 0/2 now. Then we have the Silver Quill command. It's a command, so you get to choose 2. Target creature gets +3/+3 and flying until end of turn. Return target creature with mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Draw a card, lose a life. Or target opponent sacrifices a creature. Nah. Defiant Strike. This card did not need to be part of the Mystical Archive. 1 mana for target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and you draw a card. Just did not need to be part of the Mystical Archive at all. Teach by example. This is the one that copies the next. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, copy it. Yeah, great. Absolutely. 100%. Still good. It's nice and foil. All right. I actually need to go and check on something real fast. So let me put that back into the rare pile where it belongs. I'll be right back. So let me go to the BRB screen. Yeah. Again, I'll be right back. That should be correct. I had to move laundry over, so. This is why I don't usually stream on Fridays. Because Friday is always like out. Right to the corner. Friday is always like clerical stuff, paperwork, and making sure I do things like setting up the streams to upload for the next week, or taking out the garbage, or cleaning up the house, because I don't do that during the week, because I'm doing this during the week. But so right now I don't have next week's videos set to upload just yet, because I'm also in the middle of making them. So, got a token. And the art card is probably whatever makes that avatar token that we saw earlier, and I want to know what makes it. Awaken the Blood Avatar. Sounds amazing. I want to know what card does this. Got a mountain. Intro to Annihilation. The Scurrid Colony again. So this is part of the green-blue deck that cares about lands. And life gain, apparently. Spring Main Servant. No, this is part of the green-black deck. Green-black deck cares about life gain. The green-blue deck cares about lands. Leech Fanatic. And then Blood... Yeah, whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this. That's fine. Those are all great. Prismari Apprentice, 2 mana, 2/2. When you cast a copy, this can't be blocked this turn. If that spell's power or cost was 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on this. Okay. Sure. I mean, meh, but... Creative Outburst. 7 mana instant. Deal 5 damage to any target. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 1 in your hand, and the rest in the bottom. Or you can discard it to create a treasure token. That doesn't count as casting it, so... Hall of Oracles. Tap for colorless. Pay 1 and tap for 1 of any color. Or tap to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, only as a sorcery, and only if you've cast an instant or sorcery this turn. That's not good. This is a bad land. That's an awful rare. We have Cayenne, Dean of Substance. Probably Kian, not Cayenne like pepper. To 3 mana 2/2, tap, exile the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it in your hand. Otherwise, put a study counter on it. And then pay 4 and a green, create a 0/0 blue-green fractal, and put a +1/+1 counter on it for each different mana value among non-land cards you own in exile, with study counters on them. What's the other side say? Ibrahim, Dean of Theory. It's a 4 mana 3/3 with flying. It's a bird wizard. Sure. X and double blue. Exile the top X cards of your library and put a study counter on each of them. Then put a card you own with a study counter on it into your hand. So if you had 2 copies of these, that'd be okay. But only 1, not so good. All right, give me a second. Because Time Warp is a $12 card. I'm not going to complain too much about getting good Mystical Archive cards. Because that's basically the only way I'm going to get value out of these boosters. Cards like this. Time Warp is a 5-mana sorcery. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. Now note how it says target player. If you have a way to redirect this spell, do it. Because usually when someone's casting it, they're going to target themselves to take an extra turn. Have yourself make you take an extra turn, not them. Make them mad. Play Wild Ricochet. Also, our foil is Access Hunter. It's the one where you can pay 3, a creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked. I'd still would like to see more cards from the list, but I'll take these mystical archives that are reasonably priced. Hey, a card from the list. So, the art is this. I have no idea what this is art for. Looks good, though. Lightning Bolt. We can get lightning bolts. Ooh, I wonder how much those go for. God, I can just check. Whee. Now, lightning bolt themselves should not cost a lot because they're lightning bolts. $3. Almost 4. It's a lightning bolt, but we haven't seen lightning bolt be reprinted in ages, so. Alright, best summoning. Pillar Drop Researcher. We've seen this guy before. It's 5 mana 2/2 that makes a thing with 3 or less go back to your hand. Blood Age General. 2 mana 2/2 red Spirit Warrior. Tap, attacking creatures get +1/+0. So it can't attack itself when it does that. We have an Ageless Guardian, a 2 mana 1/4 with flavor text. A Cogwork Archivist, a 6 mana 4/5 reach, and pay 2 tap, put the target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. So that's a way to get cards out of graveyards that's cheap. Bury and Books, a 5 mana instant that costs 2 less if it's targeting an attacking creature. Put it on top of its owner's library second from the top. So 3 mana if it's an attacking creature, 5 mana if it's just a creature. Storm Kiln Artist. 4 mana for a Dwarf Shaman, 2/2. It's +1/+0 for each artifact you control. And whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, create a treasure token. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. That's actually really good. Team Pennant is a 1 mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has Vigilance and Trample. And to equip it to a creature token only costs 1, but to equip it normally costs 3. I guess they like saying that those pests are a lot easier to use to carry the Team Pennant. Semester's End. 4 mana instant, exile any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers you control. At the beginning of the next end step, return each of them. They each enter to the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter or loyalty. That's it. It's a good save if there's going to be a board wipe. Otherwise, I mean, sure. All right, and our mystical archive is Village Rites. 1 mana. Sorry. All right, focus in. 1 mana, instant, as an additional cost, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. And our a foil instant Mystic Archive is Shock. Just 1 mana, deal 2 damage. And our card from the list is Birthing Boughs from Modern Horizons 1. 4 mana tap, make a 2/2 colorless shapeshifter creature token. That's every creature type for a 3 mana artifact. It has its use, but eh. All right, we have a weird mini game. What's this one called? Careful Study. Into the bucket. We saw this art. Negate. I mean, we did have Negate, so yeah, we saw that art. Forest. Start from scratch, my least favorite lesson. Because it's just bad. 3 mana sorcery. Just for an uncommon, it's just the worst thing I've seen. Charge through. Sure. Give a thing trample. Mage duel. Have a thing fight. Dragon's Approach. You can have any number of them. Heated Debate can't be countered. Deal 4 damage. We've seen all these cards, right? Ogiar Battle Seer. This is the first creature that we ever saw from this set. And it's back. 5 mana haste, 3/4. We have a master. No, come on. A master symmetrist. A 4 mana 4/4 Rhino Druid with reach. Why does it have reach? But whenever a creature you control attacks with power equal to its toughness, it gains trample until end of turn. Divide by 0, a 3 mana instant. Return target spell or permanent with mana value 1 or greater to its owner's hand. Then you learn. Shouldn't have done that. Hey, a regular non-foil copy of Double Major. Still, I like this card. Instant, copy target creature spell. It's not legendary if it was legendary already. It's good. I like that. Urza's Rage. This shouldn't have... I mean, okay, I can see this being a mystical archive card, but this is not a good card. 3 mana instant with kicker 9. This spell can't be countered. Normally, it deals 3 damage to any target. If it was kicked, deal 10 damage. And the damage can't be prevented. So if I decided to pay 12 mana, I could deal 10 damage to any target, and that damage can't be prevented. It's not a good card. It's an iconic card. Our foil is the Spectre of Defense. We've got this lovely art back. I thought it was a Gorgon. Turns out it's not. Okay, we have 4/4 Elemental Token. And that is some art. Inquisition of Kozilek. Didn't realize that got mystical archived, but sure, yeah. I'm all for that. Got a mountain. Envi Psi. Environmental science. Search your library for a basic land, put it into your hand, gain 2 life. 2 mana. That's just fine. Spectre of the Fens. Again. Moldering Karok, the trample lifelink zombie crocodile. Professor of Zoomancy. Bear Druid. Spell Satchel. We have yet to see this. 2 mana, artifact with Magecraft, put a spell count, book counter. Tap, remove a book counter, add colorless. Pay 3, remove 3 book counters. Draw a card. Stormkill and Aerialist. Sorry, Artist. Still good. Team Pennant. Still meh. Silver Quill Command. We've already had this one, and it's still not that good. However, we have a different rare of a Wandering Archaic. 5 mana avatar. Whenever an opponent casts an instant sorcery, they may pay 2. If they don't, you copy it. Sorry, you may copy it. Okay. I get behind that. And the other side of it is a 3 mana sorcery. Explore the Vast Lands. Each player looks at the top 5 cards, reveals a land or instant sorcery among them, puts into your hand, the rest on the bottom. Then each player gains 3 life. Yeah, okay, no, I can get behind this card. Mystical Archive is Thrill of Possibility. It's just like Tormenting Voice, but more thrilling. And the foil is Defend the Campus. Ooh, got another card from the list. Art is presumably some sort of merfolk. Rutha, Mercurial Artisan. I'm so pretty certain she's a merfolk. She could be a vampire, though. Got an island. Fractal Summoning is the lesson. Ooh, a new card that we haven't seen yet. Reject. 2 mana instant, counter target creature or planeswalker unless its controller pays 3. Then if it is countered, exile it. Yeah. It's unsummoned. Not unsummoned. Remove soul, but has exile. But also can be paid for. I like it. It's an okay counter spell. Curate, 2 mana instant. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put any number of them in your graveyard, and the rest back on top in any order. Draw a card. So it's Surveil 2. Surveil 2, draw. Except you can put them back in any order, and I believe Surveil didn't allow that. Still, it's fine. Biblioplex Assistant, 4 mana, 2/1 gargoyle with flying. When it enters the battlefield, put up 1 target instant or sorcery on top of your library. No? Too weak for what it does, or for how much it costs. Needlethorn Drake. Green-blue Drake with flying and death touch for 1 mana. That's fine. If it had, like, if it was 1 more mana and had flash, it'd be great. Really? This thing is having so much trouble trying to stay connected to the stream. Reckless Amplimancer. It's 2 mana 2/2. God, if it was a 1 mana 2/2. Oof. Pay 5 mana, double its power and toughness until end of turn. Yeah, okay. I've played cards that do that. I've liked using those abilities. Zephyr Boots, 1 mana equipment. If a creature has flying. If they hit an opponent, draw a card, discard a card. Sure. Umbral Juke. 3 mana instant. Choose 1. Target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, or make a 2/1 Inkling. Yeah, this second screen is having a lot of issues for some reason. Alright. Verdant Mastery. A 6 mana sorcery. You may pay 4 rather than pay this spell's mana cost. So search your library for up to 4 basic land cards, reveal them, put them into your battlefield tapped. Under an opponent's control if the 4 was paid. Oh no, put 1 of them under your opponent's control if 4 was paid. Put 2 of them under control and the rest into your hand otherwise. So if you pay 6, you get 2 lands into play tapped and 2 lands into your hand. But if you pay 4, you get 2 lands into play tapped, 1 land into your hand, and 1 land into your opponent's control. That could be any land. No, basic land. Oh. No. Not going to go for that one. Our Mystical Archive is Mana Tithe. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. White mana. It's great. Super good. It's not expensive, but it's good. Lorehold Excavation is our foil. We've seen this. I still don't like it. It's just not good. Oh, speaking of not good. Heshep Oasis. It's a desert. Taps to add 1 colorless to your mana pool, and you can tap and pay a life to add a green to your mana pool. Or you can pay 3, tap, sacrifice a desert. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Which, first off, you're sacrificing a desert. I don't know how many deserts you have, but if you opened this, you have 1. This is it. This costs a grand total of 4 mana, and you permanently lose a land. So, let's say you have 1 green, and then you tap this, because that's how it works. You're already sinking 4 resources into this ability. Also, did I mention that you can only do this as a sorcery, and only... Yeah, so you can only activate this as a sorcery. You can't do this at instant speed to pump your creature up or to protect a thing. This is main phase only. I hate seeing these. These should not have been on the list. Because they're just not good. Like, I didn't like seeing those, with the exception of 2 deserts that tap for colored mana during Amonkhet block, and that were the red and blue ones. Only because I played the mill deck. Which required the blue ones. And the red ones were part of like a really powerful deck that got banned in Standard. No one talks about those. The mini game is Winchester Draft again. The arts is, I don't know, like wing shards. Grape shot. Sure, yeah. I can see that being grape shot. God, it's 2 o'clock. I've been at this for about 3 hours. I know I had to take a break to do laundry, but if I go into the next box, it's going to be another 3 hours probably. I think I might end up only doing the one box because I have to get prepared for an event tonight that I'm being forced to do. Which is sad, but apparently, even after moving out, I still have to do certain things. Alright, Mercurial Transformation, 2 mana lesson. Till end of turn, target non-land permanent loses all abilities, becomes either a blue frog that's a 1/1, or a blue octopus that is a 4/4. Okay, sure. Sudden breakthrough. Yep. You make a treasure token, something gets +2/+0 in first strike. Instant speed, that's fine. Elemental Masterpiece, 7 mana sorcery. You're definitely gonna cast this. Now you're just gonna pay 2 discard it, make a treasure. Resculpt. 2 mana instant, exile target artifact or creature. Its controller makes a blue 4/4. Oh, it just makes a 4/4. Yeah. Yeah, I made a comment about this earlier, being like Pongified. Yeah, no, I'm good with that. Teach by example. Copy the next instant or sorcery you cast. It's great. Pop quiz, draw a card, learn. It's mild. Pigment Storm, 5 damage to target creature with trample. Spell has trample. That's what this means. Aether Helix. 5 mana sorcery, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's not great. The rare is Sedgemoor Witch, a 3 mana 3/2 human warlock with menace and ward to pay 3 life. But also, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, you make a pest. Sure. That's fine. Our mystical archive is Snakeskin Veil, 1 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. It's like they tried printing that card in this set, but failed at it, so they had to do this instead. Foil is Arrogant Poet. Again, I don't know why or how he is a poet. He can absolutely be arrogant, though. That's fine. That's not a question. That's straw wrap. We have a red, white spirit token. Pyroblast or Red Element. No, this is Stone Rain. This has to be Stone Rain. Yeah, Stone Rain. Got it in one. Got a Foil Forest. And an Inkling Summoning. Spined Karok, the crocodile with no ability. Cram Session. Sorcery, gain 4 life and learn. Witherbloom Campus, it's the black-green land that traps the Scry for 1. Witherbloom Pride Mage. Gain a life whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. Also, it's a 5/5. Zephyr Boots give the thing flying. I would like it to give them haste, but that was a different set of equipment. Umbral Juke. But we've seen this card recently, even. Mascot Interception. The spell costs 3 less if it targets a creature token. So it's a what? Oh, so if this targets a token, this costs 1 red mana. Gain control of target creature, untap it. It gains +2/+0 haste. And yeah, all of which until end of turn. So it's active treason, but if it targets a token, it's a single red mana. Yeah, I'm all for that. Quandrick's Command is a 3-mana command. Still choose 2. Return target creature card or creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature. Or shuffle up 3 target cards from your graveyard to your library. For 3 mana, 100%. It's great. Absolutely good. And the Mystical Archive is Duress. So we've gotten 3, I believe, discard card effects. There's still a couple that we haven't gotten. So single black mana, target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and they discard it. Wait, didn't we open Duress earlier? I might be thinking of a different card. Foil is the Spined Karok. We have 2 packs left from this box. And like I said, I might just not do the next box today. Because as much as I wanted to, time is making a fool of me. I will go grab like a pack of Commander Legends and open that. It seems like the thing to do. It is an elemental token, so no. We still have 1 more pack of this. But that said, sadly, I didn't open any of the legend that I wanted to open. This is that double cast card. Yeah, teach by example. Still good art. It's nice art. An island. What? All right, we have a mythic legend or lesson. Mascot Exhibition. 7 mana. Create a 2/1 Inkling, a 3/2 Spirit, a 4/4 Elemental. That's only, like, that's not all of them. We still need the Pest and the Fractal. I mean, I'm going to check to see how much this costs. But I don't have high hopes for it. 2 cents. No, wait, no, that's the wrong one. 90 cents. That's a little more reasonable for a mythic rare, even if it's not good. Burrog Befuddler. It's a 2-mana frog wizard with flash. When it enters the battlefield, target creature and opponent controls gets -1/-0. So it can block effectively. But it's also a frog wizard. Nice. Arcane Subtraction. 2-mana instant. Target creature gets -4/-0, and you learn. Square Up. A 2-mana instant. Target creature's base power and toughness are 4/4 until end of turn. Hilarious. Sure. Serpentine Curve. 4-mana sorcery. Make a fractal and put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the total number of sorceries and instants you own in exile and in your graveyard. 4 mana? Alright, fine. Biomathematician. 3 mana 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, create a fractal and put a +1/+1 counter on each fractal you control. I'm glad we're finally seeing, like, fractal-centric pack. And that's enough of the fractal-centric pack. Because now we have the gain control of a creature token thing again. Practical Research. 5 mana, draw 4 cards. Discard 2 or an instant. Leonin Lightscribe. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. I might have to check some things, but yeah, sure. That's fine. It's okay. All right. The foil is Tempted by the Auric. It's a 4-mana sorcery. Each opponent gain control of up to 1 target creature or planeswalker that player controls with a mana value of 3 or less. That sounds like the kind of thing that would show up in Standard. Except it probably is not. Let's see. Tempt. I mean, it would be 17 cents. It's 22 cents because it's a foil. However, this other card, the one right behind it, that I looked at for a moment and then immediately went away from, Teferi's Protection. 3 mana instant until your next turn. Your life total cannot change. You gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. You can still draw cards, only if they target everybody. I set it down and moved it to the back because I know it's expensive. Teferi's Protection. This card right here, $23. So, I mean, we started with like an 8, a 5, a 4, and then we hit 16, 30, 23, 25. Not complaining. Absolutely not complaining. And the final pack has a card from the list. So I hope we end strong. Art from that whole draw a blank. Sorry, go blank. Nice. We have a forest. Expanded anatomy. Just make a thing bigger. The golden ratio. 3 mana sorcery, draw a card for each different power among creatures you control. Yeah. Also, that's already in the uncommon. So this is going to be a very, very heavy pack. Quadrix Apprentice. Oh god, that's a lot of text. It's a 2 mana 2/2 with whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, look at the top 3 cards of your library, reveal a land among them, put on your hand, put the rest on the bottom. Sure. Quandrick's Cultivator, the Turtle Druid. When it comes into play, search for a basic forest or island and put it on the battlefield. Great. Emergent Sequence, this is the one that has a fractal. Search your library for a basic land card, 2 mana, put it into battlefield tap, nice, then shuffle. That land becomes a fractal. You put a +1/+1 counter on it for each land you had enter the battlefield under your control this turn. So it turns one of your lands into a fractal, but your land is still a creature, so it can be destroyed easily. Kelpie Guide. 3 mana beast. It's a 2/2. Tap to untap another target permanent you control, or tap to tap target permanent. Activate only if you control 8 or more lands. Sure, yeah, that's fine. We have Simone, Quandrick's Prodigy, a 2 mana 1/2 with pay 1, tap, put a land from your hand into the battlefield tapped, or pay 4 and tap, draw a card only if you have 8 or more lands. Great. She's great. Great card. Absolutely fantastic. All right. The rare or mythic from the pack is Mavinda, Student's Advocate, a bird advisor, 3 mana flying with 2/3, and 0. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that spell doesn't target a creature you control, it costs 8 more to cast. If it would be put in the graveyard, exile it, activate this ability once each turn. Thank God. Okay, I was really afraid of that last. I was like, this is super strong until activate once each turn. Then it's mild. Then it's mostly very good. Mavinda. I'll check that one. That sounds like the kind of a thing that would be hilariously expensive. $1. Oh well. And then we have Rowan, Scholar of Sparks. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Like I said, I hope that this last pack was stacked, and by God is it stacked. Because we had, already 1 mythic, and this is mythic number 2. Instants and sorceries you cast cost 1 less. +1, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. If you've drawn 3 or more cards this turn, deal 3 instead. This is getting harder to read. Come on. Focus. It doesn't help that I've never seen this card, so I don't know what it does. All right, let's pull back a little bit. And then -4 is you get an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you may pay 2. If you do copy that spell, choose new targets. Nice. However, the backside is Will, as opposed to Rowan, which is 5 mana. Instants and sorceries you cast cost 1 less to cast. They both have that. Yeah, they both have that top ability. His +1 is up to one target creature has base power and toughness 02, -3, which you can do first turn it comes into play. Just draw 2 cards. Or it's -7, exile up to 5 target permanents. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller makes a 4/4 elemental. That last one feels a shame, but it's not that bad. Here we have Revitalize. We saw this art earlier. Instant speed, gain 3 life, draw a card. 2 mana. Our foil is Go Blank. I mean, that was the art card too, so no complaints there. And the card from the list is Swiftfoot Boots. Equipped creature gains hexproof and haste. Equip 1, 2 to cast. It is initially printed in M12. This one specifically pulled from Magic 25. It's nice to see the boots with the fur. Okay. So, like I said earlier, when I was thinking about, I might be able to do 2 boxes, I don't think we're going to be able to do 2 boxes today. Because I've been going for 3 hours, and another 3 hours from now is going to be bad timing because I got to shower and hopefully get in and out of there before other people have to shower. That's its own separate problem that I'm having. But it's fine. It's fine. I can't do anything about that. All right. Put the foils away. We still had quite a few, decent rares. Admittedly, yeah, I can see that this set does not have a lot of high power, high value stuff. That I can see why my friend was like, yeah, don't open it if you want value, but I can absolutely understand why you would want to open this set. And we've got all these mystical archives, nice foil shock, foil Divine Gambit, regular Divine Gambit. I don't see me using these anytime soon, but they are there. We had a grand total of 2 signed art cards. And before I shut this all down, we will do a quick check on the actual cards that I put in these sleeves, which wasn't a lot, mind you. So only 2 from the actual set: Professor Onyx and Dazzleoff Prismari. And the rest are Counterspell. They're all from the Mystic Archive, which does make things easy, at least for price checking. Because since this set came out almost a year ago at this point, I don't actually know when it came out, but this set isn't rotating out. We can price check while we're here. So Professor Onyx is $11. Sure, that's fine. Gizmaluke's Grotto here is $6. So that's $17. Sure. $17 of rare from Strixhaven. Then we have Demonic Tutor, which is $34. Where did that one go? There we go. Demonic Tutor. So 34 and 17 is like 17 times 3, right? Which means it'd be 51. I'm not factoring in change. Even if it's like 99 cents, not factoring it in. Oh, God. I should probably go by alphabetically. Counterspell was $4, so 55. I'm trying to see what the difference between Dark Ritual and Dark Ritual Foil Etched is. I have no idea what the difference is. But a foil Dark Ritual, which I believe is what I have, is $6. So that's what? 61? That leaves cards like Natural Order, just alphabetically now. 14, giving me 75. I think. If anybody paying attention to this and my math is wrong, let me know. Because I'm just saying numbers now. 75, and then we've got the Fairy's Protection, which is 23, so that's 97. And then Time Warp. 12. $110, roughly, just from those cards. You know, I'm going to ask the dumb question. Strixhaven, from where I buy my cards. How much is a sealed box of Strixhaven set? 110. Cool. I broke even. Next thing for me to do is die in my sleep, and I've kind of done everything I needed to do there, right? That's how it works. And that's the story of the gambler, right? Some you win, some you lose. The best thing is to do is die in your sleep. So, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take this as a win. Both financially and spiritually. That's great, actually. I like some of those cards. Some of them can be really fun, and I'll have to look through those later. But again, I didn't see the actual card that I bought this box for, so I'm glad I bought the cards separately. Always make sure to buy your singles if you want to use a specific card. Don't just go opening packs hoping to get the card that you want. Like, again, this is not... I don't endorse doing this at all. Hi, Michami. How you doing? But... So yes, if you want cards, buy the cards that you want. Don't just be like, oh, the card I want is like $3, but this booster pack is $4, and it could be the card that I want. Or the card that I want is $18. Well, okay, if the card is $18 and the booster pack is $3, don't feel bad about buying a booster pack and trying. But if it inevitably comes to you have to buy the card, don't look at it as, oh, I already spent $18 trying to get this card. I should have just bought the card. Just buy the card still anyway. Maybe those booster packs had something else you wanted in them. Or needed, but didn't know that you wanted. But, so that's it for today. Initially, I thought I was going to do 2 boxes. But because people are going to be coming over and taking showers, and I have to take a shower too before we leave in, oh God, like 3 hours. I hope there's enough time for everybody to take the showers that they need to take. Ugh. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. I know days like this are a little different because it's not like strict gameplay. It's a lot more relaxed. Frankly, if it gets to the point where things seem a lot repetitive with those cards, I'll just go like, yep, we've seen this card too, like we did with a lot of those Lorehold expeditions. But now this said, I might go live tomorrow. That's still a possibility because there's still the other box. So doing something like this where it's a box and then another box tomorrow, maybe other stuff tomorrow, but at least a box. I might actually do real actual game tomorrow. I don't know. I might not even do the box. I might not even stream tomorrow. Tomorrow is in the air and I don't have that thing planned out. What was the most expensive card from Strixhaven? I mean, aside from the Japanese ones, which... Demonic Tutor! I actually opened the most expensive card from Strixhaven that I could have gotten. The other one was Beladros Witherbloom or Professor Onyx. So, you know what? I'll take number 2. Sure, yeah, that's fine. That's great. Got it. I can't complain about that box at all. But I'm also looking at it going, we opened like the expensivest cards and we broke even. So definitely don't open this for value. All right. When I shut off for tonight, I will be going into, let me go back to this screen so I can maneuver a couple of things around, because I've got like a webcam that's teetering very close to falling off of my desk. All right. I don't know if Twitch has done anything about the whole hate raids, so I'm going to, as I go to end the stream, go into emote only mode, which has helped out. I actually don't know if it's helped me out because literally I've only done it twice, and right before I did it the first time, we had somebody come in doing the whole do you want to get famous thing again. So that's neither here nor there. But the next scheduled stream is still Monday. If I stream before then, I will tweet about it. Absolutely. Just like definitely right beforehand. So if you want to know that information, my Twitter is linked down below. Honestly, I tweet most of the time before I stream anyway, but normally I try to stick to the schedule, which has been really hard because I've been watching Hina stream through Breath of Fire 3 again, doing the hard mod, and I've been giving advice when asked. So I've been over there a lot. If you have any questions for me, feel free to send them in a message here or in a message on Twitter. I get them. I do. I think, unless people have been sending stuff and I have not seen it yet. Let's see. Like I said, the YouTube uploads, I should be starting like right after I end the stream here. Just maybe not. Maybe I'll wait until Monday or so to actually upload all of these videos. Either way, we did have last week's go live starting at noon, and then every 15 minutes after that. So there is content up on the YouTube channel as well. I think that's about it. So yeah, a lot of times I'm really good at ending these and giving my goodbye spiel. Sometimes like this, it's just more kind of back and forth wishy-washy, but all right. I think I've done all of the housekeeping stuff that I need to worry about. So stay safe, stay healthy. Things are getting real bad out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if certain locations and states and countries decide to go, hey, we're gonna shut back down again because people aren't doing the best that they can do. So stay safe, stay healthy, be good to yourself, be good to other people. I am still confused why this causes the pet motion to happen, but I will take it. It's because the word pet is in herpetology, just like the word meow is in homeowner. But so stay safe, stay healthy, be good to yourself, be good to other people. Take care. I will see you the next time that I'm here and that you're here, at least on Monday. Maybe before. We'll see. Let's find the right button. Goodbye.